The Case of the Missing Hand by Lexi Shizifi. Narrated by
Carly, Lexi,
and Julia.
It was a rainy Sunday afternoon. The streets outside Jenny's apartment were slick and busy with cars. Her pug, Wrinkles, was eager to go out in the rain and on a long walk with his owner.
"Just a minute, Wrinkles, I have to find my shoes,"
called Jenny. After a few minutes, she joined Wrinkles at the front door. Slipping his collar on, the two headed out the door into the rain.
"Wrinkles seems really hyper today,"
Jenny thought to herself.
"It's probably just the new treats I've been feeding him."
After about 15 minutes of walking, the pair reached the trail that led through the small woods on the outskirts of the city. A woman who was wearing all black passed by.
"Hi, how's it going?"
said Jenny with a smile. The woman glared at Jenny and kept walking. Wrinkles' sudden barking snapped Jenny's attention from her interaction with the grumpy woman. Thinking it to be a new smell or some small animal, she walked over to him to usher him onward. It was a new smell, which made Jenny almost vomit. A dead body lay half covered in leaves and mud. The clothes were blood-stained and torn. Before Jenny could react, she noticed the strangest thing. The man was missing his left hand. She let out a terrified scream after around 30 seconds of standing and staring. The police arrived at the scene quickly. They questioned Jenny, but she didn't have much information to give them except for her odd encounter with the woman in black. Anxious to get away from the scene and remove it from her memory, Jenny and Wrinkles set a brisk pace on their way home. The rain had stopped, and a rainbow could be seen over the skyline of the city.
"How ironic,"
Jenny thought to herself.
"A rainbow at a time like this."
Jenny spent the next few days entirely focused on her schoolwork, trying to forget about that rainy Sunday afternoon.
"Is everything all right, Jen?"
asked Marissa, Jenny's coworker.
"Yeah, just into this really good mystery thriller,"
Jenny replied. The book, titled The Case of the Masked Murderer, was an old book, and it had been the center of Jenny's attention ever since the murder. She had hoped it would give her a clue, an epiphany of some sort, that would help her understand this precarious situation. If only she knew more about the woman dressed in black. She was convinced it was her who had murdered the man. In the coming weeks, the police had told Jenny the man's name and more information about him. His name was Mark Thompson, and he was employed as a butcher with no immediate family. The new information created more questions than answers. One day, while she was reading, Jenny stumbled upon a sentence that helped her tremendously. Step 1. Put yourself in the victim's shoes and go through their daily life, wrote Jeff Cole, author of famous murder mysteries.
"His daily life,"
thought Jenny.
"I need to go through his daily life to look for clues as to who could have killed him."
The police provided Jenny with details about Mark's daily life. On Tuesday morning, Jenny arrived at Mark's apartment.
"I wish I knew more about Mark, his personality, or what he was like,"
said Jenny to herself.
"It would make this case a whole lot easier to figure out."
She got to Mark's workplace a little before noon and was taken aback. Mark worked as a butcher in a large warehouse that was always kept at a cool temperature. Large slabs of meat hung from hooks. Blood pooled in crimson ponds on the floor, leaving an iron smell in the air.
"This area is for employees only,"
a woman said in a gruff voice.
"I'm gonna have to ask you to leave."
"Oh no, I'm just trying to find out what happened to Mark Thompson,"
said Jenny.
"Do you happen to know him personally?"
"Yeah, I knew him. Mark was a good, hard worker. The boss loved him, paid him the best, and always went on and on about how amazing Mark was, the only one who was left-handed. Like that even mattered,"
the woman said. Before Jenny could respond, she saw a glimpse of black out of the corner of her eye. She began racing after what she presumed was the woman in black. Her eyes scanned the crowd of people as she looked for the mystery woman. Jenny's sight landed on the woman from the murder scene, and she was running as if she was trying to escape something. Finally, Jenny caught up to the woman, who looked surprised. There was a pause as Jenny regained her breath and asked the woman,
"Who are you, and do you know Mark Thompson?"
The woman was so confused. She had no idea who Jenny was, or Mark for that matter. "Who are you?" is the real question. "My name is Elise, and I have no idea what you are talking about," said the woman. Jenny replied,
"My name is Jenny, and I saw you in the woods the other day, the day Mark was murdered. You didn't say hi back to me, you looked really angry, and now you're running from me."
Elise didn't quite know what to say and managed to respond, I'm running to train for a marathon I'm in next weekend. I was running in those woods because the view is much nicer and there aren't as many people. After apologizing profusely, Jenny turned to head home. She arrived at her apartment and was greeted by a happy Wrinkles. She went to her room, kicked her shoes off, let her hair down, and got ready for bed. As she was laying there, Jenny's mind began to wander.
These past few days have been hard on me.
She thought to herself.
Talking to all those people, going across town only to be on the other side 5 minutes later.
She laughed out loud to herself.
I wonder if any of them know it was me.
Jenny had killed Mark Thompson and dumped his body in the woods in the early hours of the morning on that rainy Sunday. The motive being Mark's occupation. Jenny was a vegan and resented even the thought of butchers cutting up poor animals. Jenny had learned in the weeks prior to the murder that Mark Thompson was one of the best butchers in the area, and she decided to take a stand against the cruelty the animals faced being cut up and eaten. As for the hand, since Mark was left-handed, Jenny thought it was only right that she cut off the hand that was responsible for so many animals' dismemberments, and it had made a nice treat for a certain pug. A few weeks after the events of the murder, Jenny received a call from the police notifying her that they had a group of suspects who they think committed the crime. They wanted her to come in and look at them in the one-way mirror type situation, where the one person points to who they think did it. She laughed and decided to go, only for her own amusement. Jenny was greeted by Officer Jackson and Chief Miller, and they led her to a small room with one wall covered by a dark curtain, the one-way mirror wall.
Ready to see who killed Mark?
Asked Chief Miller.
Very ready,
said Jenny with a grin. Officer Jackson walked over to the curtain and pulled it away. As soon as the curtain fell away, Jenny realized it was an ordinary mirror.